Four Downs with Rich.
Here we go.
All right, first down of my training camp edition of Four Downs is, what are the rookie quarterbacks going to look like? How is Kyler? Well, look, it doesn't matter. Kyler Murray is starting.
Yep.
And it's going to be Dwayne Haskins' world in Washington, D.C. But what do they look like? I want to, it's all going to come out peaches and cream that these guys look great. But what will they look like when preseason action hits? That's what I want to know. And also, how does Drew Lock look in training camp? And how does Daniel Jones, how does he look in training camp as well? The Brady Bledsoe story of 2001 that played out, that we all saw, was born in training camp. That, yes, Brady, when he trotted onto the field, nobody believed that he could take the Patriots where he took them. And certainly nobody saw the dynasty coming. But the Patriots saw in training camp that Brady was playing the position better than the veteran that they have signed to a monster contract. He was playing better than that guy. So how do these kids look in training camp definitely plays into the fact if Flacco gets sat, or yes, if it's time for Eli Manning to give way to Daniel Jones, which would send the first-time caller, long-time listenership in New York and New Jersey through the roof and onto the figurative George Washington Bridge ledge if something like that happens, or if it doesn't happen fast enough. So just keep an eye on all this, but it would shock me if Haskins isn't the starter. And we already heard from the general manager, Steve Keim, the Monday after the draft that we didn't draft Kyler Murray to have him sit and then trade Josh Rosen away. But seeing how they look, to me, is going to be an interesting part of training camp. That's first down. Hit second down, Mike.
Second down.
All right. Second down here on my training camp edition of Four Downs on the Rich Eisen Show. How will the contract situation for the Dallas Cowboys loom over Oxnard, California? And the fact that I used the word loom gives you an indication of how I'm seeing this all play out. Does Zeke Elliott hold out? I mean, they report later on this week. Does he hold out? Does he not hold out? If he doesn't hold out, how does that all work? What if Dak gets the contract first? I all expect that to happen. And if he walks into training camp without one, that's going to be part of the conversation. And then Amari Cooper's looking to get his. And I think they need to handle their business before they walk in the door. The Jones family might wait till August because that's apparently what they usually do. Ian Rappaport's on tomorrow's show to lay all this stuff out for us. And then there's the issue of Jason Garrett not having a contract passed after this year as well. Is it possible at all, that the players who want the new contracts can look at the coach without a contract and say, we're all in the same boat together and pull together? Or like, why do I need to listen to this guy if he might not be around next year? How does this all play out? And why do the Joneses invite this drama or seem to thrive in it? You got to pay Dak. It needs to happen. Just do it. And swallow hard and say it starts with a 3. And there's 7 zeros after it. That's what the market bears. It's time. And then go to battle and try and win a Super Bowl in the next 3 to 4 years with that young defense that's buzzing around. I don't understand it. But the Joneses have a plan. I think, and I believe, and we'll see how it all plays out. But that's why I chose the word loom, not only to say, but radio audience, we put it in a topic bar on the bottom of the screen. And when it's on a topic bar at the bottom of the screen, you know it means business.
It's for real.
Third down.
Third down.
Ah, yes. Running backs. Running backs. Certainly not just for fantasy, but how is it all going to play out? I wrote some down here in this handy-dandy book right here that I have in front of me. Some running backs I'm looking forward to seeing. Chicago. David Montgomery. They drafted him in the 3rd round. I understand that, you got Tariq Cohen, who we had the other day, but he's not your every down, run him downhill when it's 20 degrees outside back. Mike Davis, who they got from Seattle, is that guy. But keep an eye on this 3rd-round draft choice out of Oklahoma State, who had 1,000 yards rushing in back-to-back seasons in his final 2 years at Oklahoma State, and that also included double-digit touchdowns in back-to-back years. Keep an eye on him. Another 3rd-rounder I'd keep an eye on is right here in Los Angeles, Darrell Henderson. who was chosen 3 picks before Montgomery in the 3rd round by the Rams. He had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. His junior year, 25 touchdowns. How's Sean McVay going to employ him in the offense if Gurley has, who the hell knows with Gurley's knee? That is, without question, the biggest who the hell knows question going into the season. That won't be answered in the preseason.
No, he won't even play.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we won't know. But just keep an eye on this guy. Keep an eye on him. And I know they got Malcolm Brown in between the two on the depth chart, but keep an eye on him. Another running back situation to keep an eye on. Oakland's running back situation. That'll be interesting to see play out in Hard Knocks. You tell me what the hell Gruden's going to do here. Doug Martin, Jalen Richard, their first-round pick, Josh Jacobs.
Now we're talking.
Okay, out of Alabama, who wasn't even the number one guy, if you will, there, but was terrific. And then DeAndre Washington. I know you're pegging Josh Jacobs, but
I am.
I don't. With Gruden, you can't predict. There's 4 of them there. And then in Washington, Darius Geis is coming back from his knee injury. How will he look in training camp?
But
there's no. I know there's Adrian Peterson there. No, I understand that. But if this kid is as dynamic as he was supposed to be coming out of LSU last year,
ACL though,
I wouldn't. I know that. But keep an eye on him in training camp, and keep an eye on Jordan Howard in Philadelphia. I kind of like that move a lot that nobody's talking about. That's my running backs that I'm keeping. I know I'm leaving out a ton, but that's just my thoughts going into training camp right there. That's 3rd down. Here comes 4th down.
Is it a hot take plank situation?
It will be in a second. It will be in a second, but I want to set it up before Joe Hayden comes. Live from New York, it's Le'Veon Bell. He's going to find out. He's going to find out. And this is a concern for me for Le'Veon Bell. What you do and how you do it in Western Pennsylvania, in Pittsburgh, PA, it is a whole different ball of wax in New York City. And Odell Beckham, everything he told Esquire and all that, it will be discussed on shows like this one.
GQ.
And GQ, pardon me. It will be discussed on shows like this one and all the, Stephen A's First Take and all that. Yep. It will be. Won't have the same intensity in Cleveland as it would have in New York City. And will be talked about maybe more in New York City than in Cleveland.
Right.
It's, what he had to say about his departure for the Giants when he shows up for training camp this week in Cleveland. You know what? I'm into my new spot. Poof, gone.
Right.
New York City, you say something in NYC, it's a different story. And Le'Veon Bell is going to have to watch that, and we'll see how it all plays out. And the latest thing is him on his Instagram feed. Mike, you're going to have to turn this down a little bit so everyone can hear what this is in an airport, I guess.
Yeah.
Walking through an airport where I guess he must have seen something on his social media. He's done very well to not take any bait on Twitter for anything about him not focusing on football. He's been out a year, and he did a lot of. He loves being a musician,
right?
And we saw him partying sometimes in South Florida,
playing
last
basketball
year.
at the gym.
So he's going to hear from people that he's not, and he didn't show up for the non-mandatory stuff in New York. So now here he has this saying. This is what he had to say on his Instagram feed that everybody's talking about, certainly in New York City today.
I'm tired of social media. I'm tired of everybody telling me, you're not focused. You only want to make music. You want to play basketball. He do everything besides play football. And let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all something. Everybody talking, man. I know y'all got a favorite person, a favorite athlete. You think Braun is waking up? Oh, he ain't having no Taco Tuesdays. Braun don't have Taco Tuesdays. Y'all think he's just hooping all day? Y'all think Beyonce waking up singing all day? She don't go to work. She don't act. She don't do nothing else taking her kids. Y'all think she's waking up singing. So y'all think it's legitimate for me to just, I ain't supposed to be in this airport on the escalator. I'm supposed to be running up the steps, working out, getting up these damn steps,
Okay, so not the best look.
It's already started.
He sounds and looks insane. All right. So
Joe Hayden's laughing.
Joe Hayden's laughing. We'll talk about it with Joe. It looks and sounds insane. And it's going to marinate. And he's showing up for training camp Saturday, and he'll be asked about it, and we'll see how it all plays out. But the one way to not be a problem is for him to ball out, and that's how I'm about to grab the hot take plank.
You're going to hot take plank Le'Veon Bell's upcoming season? You're really going to do this?
I have the hot take plank in my hands, which for those who may not know, fourth down is for me to hot take to sizzle.
I got to write this down.
Le'Veon Bell in 2019 will have career bests in rushing yards and total touchdowns for the New York Jets. He's putting all the chips to the center of the table. He's putting the chip on his shoulder. And Le'Veon Bell's career best was year 2 in rush yards, 1,361. And his best total touchdowns was the last year he played, and also in that year together, 11. He will have better than 11 total touchdowns and more than 1,361 rush yards for the Jets, who are going to try and run him into the ground. And Le'Veon Bell, that's my hot take.
Goodness
to
gracious.
finish up my 4 downs.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.